Since I started doing YouTube over 16 years ago, I had one dream, and that was to build the ultimate gaming setup. And I think I've finally done it. This is my gaming setup as of 2023. So first and foremost, I have 3 different monitors and each of them have their own use. So the one on the left is a LG Ultrawide. It's nothing really too special. It's just super useful for streaming. I haven't streamed in so long. Oh my. But the monitor on the right, it's a 1440p Asus Proart. And the main reason why I picked it up was because I had like a 4K monitor that had absolutely terrible colors and just color grading anything was just impossible. So I decided to pick up a monitor that had much better color accuracy. And the middle monitor is my gaming monitor. And it's an Asus 360 Hz. I've used tons of monitors for gaming. I started off at 60 Hz. Over time, I upgraded to 144 Hz. And by the way, this is when I was still breaking monitors on a regular basis. And it was getting really expensive. But luckily, it's been 5 years since I've broken a monitor, and I'm super proud of myself for getting over that. So 144 Hz is good. 240 Hz is better. 360 Hz is even better than that. I don't know. I might wait a while to get a 540 Hz monitor because right now, I don't really get the kind of frame rate in CS2 that would really justify a monitor like that. Also, it uses a TN panel, so it's not nearly as good as the fast IPS panel that the 360 Hz has. It would be better for gaming, but for content creation, it would be a downgrade. For my microphone, I use a Shure SM7B on my main setup, and on my second setup, I use an Electrovoice RE20 connected to a GoXLR. But on my main setup though, I use a Rodecaster Pro 2, which is an absolutely amazing piece of technology. Essentially, it has 2 USB ports, and you can either plug 2 into one PC and get 3 outputs, or you can plug 1 into one PC and 1 into the other, and it is absolutely perfect for streaming. It also has a bunch of smart pads that let you play sound effects, and you can do voice changers. It has sliders for pretty much everything. It has Bluetooth, so you can connect your phone to it and listen to music. Now, it is super overkill for what I do, but for the amount of technology they pack into it, it's not super overpriced. For my headphones, I used to use Audio-Technica ATH M50Xs, but I kind of found that they weren't very reliable. Basically, the plastic part always snapped, and I don't know. Like, sure, they sounded all right, but I decided to upgrade to some better headphones, and I got some DT770 Pros from Beyerdynamic, and I got the 250 ohm versions because the Rodecaster is able to actually push that many ohms on headphones. So it sounds absolutely insane. So I've used a lot of mice over the years. I think I used a Corsair M65 Pro for the longest time, and I didn't realize how bad of a mouse that was until I finally got something better. But eventually I got a G Pro wireless when those first came out, and that was my go-to mouse forever. And that's when I really fell in love with wireless mice. And then I picked up a Superlight when that came out, and it was even better. I mean, 20 grams lighter, better switches that are less likely to double click, and stellar battery life. If you're looking to get a mouse, that's probably the one I would recommend. But earlier this year, I decided to go a little crazy. I picked up the Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition, which is the most overkill mouse you can possibly buy. But personally, I was just curious. I've had a bunch of friends who own Final mice, but I've heard a lot of good and bad things from them. Obviously, they're really light and they're like super good mice, but the reliability long-term isn't really the best. So instead of getting a Final mouse, I went with Razer's equivalent. I think it only weighs like 49 grams, so it's about 11 grams lighter than the Superlight. So definitely noticeable, but it's also a slightly smaller shape. For my hands, it's definitely not too bad. I'm not really much of a palm tip gamer. I'm more of like a fingertip / claw gamer. I hold the mouse in the way that's the most natural for me. And with this mouse, oh my God, I'm able to hit some absolutely crisp shots. I use an ARTISAN HAYATEOTSU. I don't know how to pronounce it, but by far the best mouse pad I've ever used. I've been very careful not to spill stuff on it because I want it to last for a long time. For my keyboard, I use a Steelseries Apex Pro 2023 edition, and I use the 10 keyless version. Before I used a K95 Platinum from Corsair, and it was a full-sized keyboard. And to be honest, I just wanted to try something a little bit smaller. And this keyboard absolutely filled its place super well. The main reason why I was so hesitant to not get a smaller keyboard was because I really liked the media keys. The main reason why I chose this keyboard was because it is one of the best gaming keyboards on the market. Number one, I mean, it's made by Steelseries, so you know it's absolute quality. But number two, it's very similar to the Wooting keyboard where you can actually change the actuation of the key. So you can either set it up so you have to like press the key down all the way, or you can set it up to actuate at 0.1 or 0.2 millimeters. And personally, I prefer 0.2 because it's just enough to be instantly responsive without me accidentally spamming the key 50 times. That can be a little bit of a problem with the keyboard. I have a NanoLeaf above the setup to basically light up my room and change the ambience. I can change it to whatever color I want. And to be honest, oh, I love this thing. I also have the Elgato Ringlight for whenever I do stream. And if I ever do face cams, then I have that set up. But there's a lot of stuff that I never really use that I probably could use. By the way, this is being shot on a Sony A7 Mark III. Sure, there's newer models out there, but I absolutely love the camera. It is so good. Like, the quality is top tier. I just have a random MacBook because sometimes I like to edit my videos or work on the thumbnails on my Mac in bed. And then my most recent pickup was the brand new desk, and it's a Secretlabs Magnus Pro XL, and it is by far my favorite desks. Number one, it's a metal desk. It's super sturdy, it's super high quality, and it has really good cable management. Although my cable management isn't really the best, but it's still a work in progress. Compared to my old setup, it is insanely better. Also, compared to my old desk, it's a lot deeper and it's a little bit wider, so I have way more space to like put stuff. Obviously though, I think the whole thing weighs like almost 200 pounds. Putting it together and flipping it over by myself was quite the challenge, but I pulled it off. And one of the main reasons why I chose to get this specific desk was because I've used a lot of Secretlabs stuff in the past and I'm really impressed with their quality. But obviously, aside from the cable management, aside from it being metal and then using magnets to kind of secure stuff, it's also a sit to stand desk. So you can either sit at the perfect height to where it's like super ergonomic, or you can stand up and basically game while standing. However, though, one thing I do need to acknowledge is when it's standing, it does get a little wobbly. So I try to avoid having glasses of water on it. It is an absolutely insane desk. With my old desk, the one problem I was running into was the desk was it was a few inches too high. So I was forced to sit in a position that would either make me sit up too high on my chair, cutting off the circulation to my legs, or if I adjust it to be more comfortable, I have to kind of move my arms up too much, and I basically had to slouch. It was absolutely destroying my back and my shoulders. I mainly got this new desk for my health. Oh, I haven't even talked about the PC yet. So I built this PC, I think in August of this year, and originally I was just going to upgrade my old PC, which had a 128 gigabytes of RAM, a 10900K, and a RTX 3090. I mean, I pretty much would have had to replace everything anyways, so I just decided to kind of bring it down the line and take my previous PC and put that in my other setup. It's pretty much just a couch gaming and like VR setup, but it's basically just another place where I can play games and make videos, because the more places you have to make videos, the more likely you are to actually do it, because I like to procrastinate a lot. Anyways though, the new PC, I went with an Intel Core i9 13900K, 64 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, an RTX 4080. It's an NZXT case, but it's like the airflow version, so it's super good. The biggest reason why I got the PC at the time that I did was because it was right before CS2 dropped, and I wanted to make sure that I had a computer that could actually run the game at a good enough frame rate to where I'm not really held back by anything. I do have a streaming PC as well, but I kind of took it apart and took the capture card and threw it in my other setups PC so I could stream console games. And I don't know, if you guys want to see some like CS2 streams or whatever, just let me know down below and drop a like. I'm not going to promise anything though. And then for my chair, I have a Secretlabs Titan Evo XL. I actually had the regular version of the chair before, and for me, I'm 6'2", and it was a little bit too short for me. But the new one, oh, it fits me so much better. Kind of my whole methodology behind the setup is ergonomics, being able to sit comfortably, being able to sit in a way that's not bad for my health, and then functionality second, just having everything in front of me, just so I don't have to worry about it. And then number 3 is just organization, just having a place for everything. If your setup's a mess, it can be kind of annoying to do anything. Yeah, just some lessons I've learned over the years. And how did I afford to build this setup with basically no income? It's all thanks to Skins. By proxy, it's all thanks to you guys, because without your support, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in, and I'm incredibly grateful for each and every single one of you guys. I know the channel hasn't really been doing that well the last few months since CS2 dropped, but ultimately, and as long as I'm still breathing, I'm going to keep doing it for you guys, all right? I'm going to keep making the best content I can. Maybe 2024 will finally be the year. That might just be wishful thinking. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Actually, and then also join the Discord server and send me a picture of your setups, because I'm really curious to see what you guys have. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like, subscribe with the bell, leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, boys. It's Turbo, and I'm out. Peace.